Hey everyone, it's Jen with ChappyPlans. Welcome to my Memory Planning Monday video. Today I will be planning a half week for the very last part of March, which is also the last spread in this particular planner. So if you'd like to see what I'm going to do, stick around. Thanks so much for joining me for today's video. I cannot believe I have done it. I have actually stuck with a memory planning system that works for me, that I'm absolutely 1,000,000% in love with. These again are the Storyline Chapters inserts by Heidi Swapp. I need to purchase more because I don't think I have any more of this weekly layout, but this is going to be January through March and the first half of April, or the first week of April, half week of April. So I do my process videos one half week at a time, because since I'm still fairly new to this, it does take me between anywhere from 2 to 4 hours for one half week, which is, I know it sounds insane, it kind of is, but it's 4 hours that fly by, and that I just am so thankful to be able to have the privilege to sit here and use this as a form of self-care and just, as Auntie Heidi calls it, stamp therapy. So flipping back to last week, this was the first half that I showed in last week's video, and then this is the second half. So here I have a story about just me journaling about this week. If you remember, it was hard when Nora got sick. There were a lot of tantrums happening. It was just a lack of sleep. It was a rough week. So that is me journaling about that. And this little title came from a journaling card in an Allie Edwards kit. And then most of the rest of this is all Heidi Swapp. So these are some tags here that I made. This one is a story about, it says, I had to document the cute outfit and makeup. I definitely wanted to get all dolled up because the week was so hard. We went to Hanzo with Nora for the birthday party. Also used this opportunity to take a selfie with my planner in my happy place. So I just put this on sticker paper and printed it out. It's from the Stop the Blur class, and there's just a few pictures here. And then the journaling, and then I just wanted to bring this acetate asterisk over because I have it on the left side, so I wanted it to balance. And then here I used sticker paper to create this tag. It says, life is hard, I can't even, the nitty gritty, it's fine, I'm fine, everything is fine. And then this tag was just about how I felt very triggered in my emotions and with my PTSD because of just how Nora was having all these meltdowns and all these tantrums. And yeah, it was just hard. It was a hard week. We all have them as parents. So, and then I just stamped the date and put a label there. And then here I used some of the paper from the Storyline Chapters project pad, and I stamped Hanzo Japanese Steakhouse. And here I changed the stamping from Tattered Rose to Victorian Velvet just because I liked how the letter stood out more. And then I used some of the pencils that Heidi Swapp sells in her shop. These are Prismacolor color pencils to fill in the lettering there. And then, oop, I lost my A. I just realized that. I'll have to find it. I don't know where it went. I'm sure it'll turn up at some point, but sometimes these alpha puffies fall off. And then I made this tag here using my Weird Memory Keeper's tag punch, and then put the picture of, several pictures of the girls at the birthday party, and then journaling about that. And then I used this little pocket tag thing here. I did some stamping, the date, and put happy, and I repeated that rainbow pattern over here that I had used, I don't know, on a couple of these tags. I really liked the way those looked and the colors. And then it's just some journaling about this photo. It says, I can't with this photo. After church, Nora was using my phone for Roblox, but she and Georgia snapped a selfie. This one, how flipping cute are they? They're so cute. I love it. So she didn't even tell me she did that. I just like went back to my phone and I was like, oh. And then this was a failed attempt, but I'm just going to leave it, of using the asterisk as a layering piece on this envelope. And it's just some more journaling about Sunday. Oops. I'm like ripping the pocket. These vellum pockets and tags are also from Heidi Swapp, but it's basically just more journaling. I ended up walking into church that Sunday and sitting down and literally bawling. Like, no one said anything to me. I didn't even know that was going to happen. I had like my makeup on. I was ready to do the announcements because it's part of my job. And I just lost it and ended up having to spend pretty much the entire service in a separate room because I was so upset and I just didn't want to be distracting. So anyways, that's what that is journaling about. And I feel like it kind of goes with like this pocket because it's like sort of private and just more of a sensitive story. So anyway, now we have made it. Oh, there's the A. There it is. Found it. Okay, sorry. Now we have made it over. Oh, I think I didn't tell you. So I added Feel Better Soon because I need to like stick these down with tape or something. I don't know. Tell me if you have like a clue about what to do with those. I used it here. These kept coming off, so I used my Tombow dual-sided tape for this. I don't know if that's what I need to do with these letters or what, but I wanted to carry over like the gold puffy letters, so I put Feel Better Soon here because this is when Nora was sick. Anyhow, sorry, I digress. Jumping over to the last week of March, first week of April. I had to tape it down because I don't know, I cut it out wrong. I have some photos. So Monday morning was her I think last Monday of the month, they have a morning assembly where the whole school gets together and they take turns with the grades doing some sort of little presentation. So this was I took a picture of the projector and then the screen, and then there's Nora waving at me. It's really like, pixelated, but I still wanted to put it in there. And then this was from the 30th. That was just after school. Nora and her icy and her snack that she picked because she was having a much better week, and I was just so happy. So sometimes I like to just stop it, and if I have to get gas, I'll let her go in and pick out a treat. And then this is just a picture of the mess as I am working on the second half of my week. And that's really it for this half. So what I want to use, I'm using as like sort of my base, is this really pretty paper from Studio Calico. I just shared in my last Flip Through Friday haul, like my big, actually not my last one, two weeks ago. It was the huge sale that all the items I purchased from Studio Calico. You can check that video out if you'd like. But I like the colors, and I wanted something that had blue because of this. And then for the second half of the week, I have a lot of photos. But I want to carry over like blues and greens and pinks. So I thought this would work well. And then I ended up pulling this piece of paper, what's left of it, I guess, from the Brave and Bold paper pad from Amy Tangerine. She's amazing. This is from 2020. And then I also have some coordinating ephemera and die cut pieces here in my bin. So I'm probably going to use some of these. And for inks, I have pulled so far, and it could change, but so far I've got Tumbled Glass, Saltwater Taffy, Salvage Patina, Tattered Rose, and Twisted Citron. I'm loving the green. Loving it. So, yeah, let's get started, friends. Let's go. Let's go. So I start by putting the month at the top, and it's the wrong month. Shocker. I put April with these super cute stickers I got from the stock up sale that Heidi Swapp just had. And I'm like, oh no, it's not April, it's March to April. So no worries, I will just write in March, make an arrow, and good to go. And so now I'm just trying to figure out what elements from the Amy Tangerine die cuts that I have will coordinate and make sense for the sentiments that I want to use. I love these bright sparkly die cuts. Really love how they coordinate with the rest of the items, and it definitely goes with sort of like the vibe for Nora's morning program. It was just like a fun, totally awesome thing that I got to go see. And despite being extremely sleep deprived that morning, it was well worth the little trek. And here I am making a teeny tiny little booklet-ish type thing. I don't know, I've never really done anything like this, but it's kind of like making a card. And then I decided I wanted to make this photo into a little bit of a pocket so I could add just a tiny bit more journaling to pop out through the side. So I'm just trying different phrases to see what I like in that spot, and then going through all of my tags that I have in my new storage drawer collection, which I absolutely love. So I decided to make this little square or rectangle into a tag. Sorry, I'm very sleep deprived today. Nora decided to have a tantrum for like an hour at bedtime last night. Good times. And I just want to add, I'm using this tag, use the back for a journaling, but I also want to use the front to play with stamping, which is my new sort of like favorite thing to do. I was really intimidated at first, but I think the more you play, the more fun you have, and sort of the more creative you can be. It's a little bit different, but in my mind, I kind of tell myself it's sort of like layering stickers, which I love to do, except these are stamps. And it's obviously it's not the same thing, but there are a lot of different ways you can layer stamps that you can't do with stickers. So I really enjoy that, especially with the Distress Oxide inks. So first I tried this rope here, but I just didn't like the way it looked, even though the color coordinated really well. And there I used my Zig glue pen to put adhesive on the back of that die cut that said "So Totally Awesome." Oh look, there's my baby hairs in the corner. Nice. Journal, journal, journal. And I just like the way the lines look underneath. I don't know why, it just like the way it looks. It's kind of messy, but I like that. I know it doesn't really, it's kind of funny because as someone who has OCD and really likes order and things organized and neat and clean, for some reason, I just like the aesthetic of the lines underneath my journaling bits, and then I also like the look of the distressing of paper, which you see me do a lot with that nail file. I'm gonna go out tomorrow when I go to the store and get some real sandpaper and not keep using nail file because that's just silly. And so now I'm trying to figure out what the heck I want to add as an embellishment underneath it. I'm like, okay, I got that day done, and now what? So I'm sort of just looking at all the different things that I have and seeing if any of the printables or stickers or anything like that is standing out to me and kind of gonna help me get to the next part of creating this spread. And then I decided, I want to make a vellum pocket. And to do that, I just picked what things I wanted to be inserted in the pocket, and then I created the pocket around those, if that makes sense. So I didn't do any fancy measuring. I am the worst. I can't math. I just can't math. So here I am, just putting the two tags in the middle and then scoring around where I think it'll fit and guessing, basically. I'm sure there's a much easier, more effective way to create a pocket, but I did the best I could. I'm a noob. What can I say? So then I'm just trimming down the pocket even more because I realized it was too tall, and used a circle punch to create a notch there. And then I'm trying to decide how I want to put the photos in there, if I want it separate, and then I end up taping it down to the green paper that I pulled from the Amy Tangerine Brave and Bold 6x8 paper pad. Did the journaling on the back using that tag from the April Stop Blur kit, and then just doing some journaling there. And of course I have to add my lines. there, I'm using that twine. It's from the automotive department of the Dollar Tree, in case you're wondering where I got it. It's kind of all I had on hand. And now I'm just playing with stamps. I want to add a little bit of stamping to each of these tags, because why not? It's so fun. Okay, so I want to stamp the date, and this roller, I don't know, it's probably me, but I always struggle and I end up having to cover it up. In this case, I didn't, but usually that's what's happening. So then I added that little cardstock flap with some Velcro, but it wasn't holding, so I just added a little bit more. I'm sure there's so many better ways to do this, but I'm completely just DIYing things and just making it work. I really wanted to use that pleather tag from Ali Edwards, currently Stories by the Month kit, but it just didn't make it on the page, and maybe it'll go on the right side at some point. But I'm making this, I want to use this tag here to add some journaling. I'm looking at the different sticker options I have and seeing if I can add in any of these around the page. So I put One of a Kind down there in that green color. I looked through the Amy Tangerine stickers, couldn't find anything. But then I'm like, oh right, there's washi that matches. And I end up using washi accents around the page and adding it to different elements that I've made to just bring in the color and then also add a bit of interest. And I really like the way it turned out, honestly. Alright, so I'm going to adhere my little vellum pocket with the tags down, and now I'm trying to figure out how, this is like the last main interactive piece that I'm going to be using on the left side of the page in this half week. So now I'm basically just trying to figure out what I want to put on it. Do I want to add the photo in the front, in the back? Do I want to add stickers? Do I want the journaling in the front? And then I realized, oh, I have this fun die cut. Let me put it on the photo here. And then I decide, okay, I'm going to tape it down here in the bottom and create a side pocket for the photo to come out. And I brought in that, I glued the photo, or I taped the photo to the tag there that's sticking out that came from Heidi Swapp's March Stop the Blur kit. I didn't like the way that green tag looked, even though I wanted more green on the page, but I wanted to stamp. I decided I wanted to play with my stamps, and I didn't think that the background of that paper was going to work very well. So I ended up using this blue paper that I've used in other spreads from Heidi Swap, and then using my Stamp Society stamps and the Distress Oxide inks just to play around, and it was so much fun. Definitely got some stamp therapy in. That's what Auntie Heidi calls it. And that's what it is. So I'm just looking through all my stamps and just playing. That's really all that's happening, is me creating these tags using various elements from all the different Heidi Swap stamps that I have. I absolutely need to add more to my collection. But I'm loving using these and just creating layers and sort of trying to balance out all the colors. I think they work together really nicely. They give me sort of like a tropical feel, even though this is a spring spread, but I'm here for all the color. It's been a long winter. So there is a point where I lose maybe 15 minutes worth of my footage. I'm not sure what happened to that video, but all I did was add a few sticker embellishments to the page and journal on the bottom left-hand corner. That's really all you missed. So I hope you enjoyed how this turned out. Okay, so before I show you the crafter math, which I have sort of cleaned up a little, so you know, it's still a hot mess, but it was worse, believe it or not. I did lose footage at the very end just of me journaling on here, which is not a big deal. And then I think that's about it. I might have added a couple touches with washi, but I really love the way this turned out. I'm really into this like citron green chartreuse color right now. And so this is the little morning assembly there. And then some journaling, the die cut there, and then the little frog puffy sticker. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see better. Miss America's waving at me. That's her nickname sometimes. And then I just made this little tag with some journaling and put that in there. And at first I had used this twine, but I didn't like the way it looked, so I used, well, I guess it's more of a yarn. But so then I switched out for this twine and I like it better. It's not my favorite. I think I'm gonna have to look for some other string. I plan to go to the craft store tomorrow, so I'll see what I can find. And then this little pocket, I made this vellum pocket to sort of house, like I wanted to be able to see this picture of Nora, but the colors didn't fully match. So I put it on that same coordinating paper background. And I stamped "This is happening." And then there's some journaling on the back, a little bit of stamping with the date, and then journaling here for day 29. And let me put that back in there. A couple things from Heidi Swap's Stop the Blur class printable is this "No Talkie Before Coffee," which is totally appropriate given the week. It was like this week seemed like it was really hard. It got a little bit better, and then it went back to being really kind of tough. So that's why I stamped "I need a break. I can't even. It's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine." And then this little tag I made. It doesn't have anything on the back, but I just wanted to, I knew I wanted to have this sort of element, which I stole the template from the April Stop the Blur kit, but I wanted to use my own cardstock to match what I already had on the page. And then this paper is from a Heidi Swap Storyline Chapters book. And that's just the date there and some fun stamping. I had a lot of fun making this. I'm just really experimenting with my stamping and enjoying that process. And then I just have this little, I took the tag, this tag came in the March Stop the Blur kit, and then the picture of me working on the other half of my week. And then I just put this little sticker on the back that came from a oldie but goodie Heidi Swap sticker book. And that's what made me think, oh, there's coordinating washi that I have. So that's why I pulled out this little bin of washi here. And it had these two beauties in it. And I think if I can find another one of these, I need to get it just for this washi because I love this color. I use it a lot too in my regular decorative planning. So yeah. Anyway, I thought this was the perfect sentiment because this is my favorite escape, my craft room, and the colors match perfectly. So it was awesome. And then just some journaling about my wellness journey. I said this is 3 months as of the 28th that I made a lot of lifestyle changes, started my Beachbody programs, and regularly intermittent fast. I've lost about 10 pounds and over 11 inches of fat. I'm loving the new me. So that is my half week there, the end of March. Oh, and you can see I like kind of messed that up. I put April and I was like, oh wait, this isn't April, it's the end of March. So I put March to April. It's fine. I do think it gets tricky the closer you get to the end of a book, because it gets so bulky. It's hard to do things on the left side. So just keep that in mind. Something that I like to do sometimes, if I can, is slide one of these underneath. I have another one from Dollar Tree that's slightly bigger. And it works well if you want to have a more flat surface. You can also pull out as many elements as possible from the page behind it if that helps flatten the page for you to do your work. So anyway, there it is, and I'll show you the crafter math. It is crazy. So I hope you enjoyed the video today. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm having a lot of fun combining so many different companies and brands and kits, and just sort of that challenge and playing with my stamps. So I hope you do enjoy this as much as I do. Probably not, but here's to wishful thinking. I appreciate you watching this today, and if you liked it, would you please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss on my content. And I will see you in the next video. Take care, friends. Remember that you are enough. Bye.